Hello everyone, I hope you all are fine. So, in previous class we have started fiber to fabric, but we already finished over here. We already finished over here. So from today we'll start from here. Life cycle of the silk moth. Now we know that what is moth. No, we are already watching it whenever it comes in our room at night. It is dark in color. It can be in many color. So, life cycle of silk moth. Silkworm is the larva or caterpillar of the domesticated silk moth. Mulberry silk moth is the most common silk moth. So, which is the common silk moth? Mulberry silk. The female silk moth, which is shorter and stouter than the male, means female silk moth which is shorter and stouter. Stouter means little bit small and little bit dark in color. Then the male lays 300 to 400 eggs at a time on leaves. After some days, the eggs hatch and the black larva of silkworms or silkworms emerge. Means from that eggs, we can see that black larva or silkworms emerge from there. The larva stage lasts for about 27 to 28 days. Now, what is the larva stage? Larva stage means they are changing. They are from larva to they are extracting. So, it is going on for 27 to 28 days. During this stage, the larva shed their skin 4 times. And during this time, the larvas shed their skin for 4 times. This process is called molting. This process is called molting. Now the silkworms feed on mulberry leaves and develop glands that produce silk. Now in these silkworms feed on mulberry leaves and develop glands that produce silk. The silkworms secrete fine filaments from their glands, which are made of protein and harden on exposure to air. The filaments are deposited in layers forming cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm transforms itself into the chrysalis, and this stage is called pupa. So now in this stage, the silkworms secrete fine filaments from their glands, which are made of protein, and harden on exposure to air. The filaments are deposited in layers forming cocoon. Now that filaments are deposited in layers which are forming cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm transforms itself into the chrysalis. Now inside the cocoon, the silkworm transforms itself into chrysalis, and this stage is called pupa. Now the silkworm continues to develop inside the cocoon and it changes into an adult. Silk fibers are obtained from a cocoon of silkworms. Now production of silk. Now one more time I will go for the summary. First eggs, then where it is laying on the leaves. It is called mulberry leaves, and it is rounding to hatching into larva. After that, it is these eggs are hatching into larva. After that, the larva starts to forming cocoon. This larva starts to form cocoon, and these are the cocoons, and these cocoons are forming to silk moth. Now here I will come on point. Silk moth, there are 2 kinds of moth is there. Which one we are watching over at night that time? But that moth is also there. But before that, silk moth is there. Silk moth from where we get silk. After that, silk moth is hatching to this moth, means which is going for the adult one, and then again its cycle goes on. After that, this adult one again laying eggs. How many? 300 to 400 eggs per time. Means in one time they are laying 300 to 400 eggs. Understand? So this is the summary. By this they are going on. Now we will go for the production of silk. The rearing of silkworms for the production of silk is called sericulture. It involves the following steps. First, the silkworm eggs are warmed and put in conditions which enable them to hatch. Now first what they are doing? First the silkworm eggs are warmed and put in condition which enable them to hatch. Now they are put in a very warm place so that they can easily, or they can enable, which is enabled them to hatch. After hatching, the larvae are spread on bamboo. After hatching, the larvae are spread on bamboo trays to grow and are fed on chopped mulberry leaves for about a month. Now, after this, after hatching, the larvae are spread on bamboo trays to grow and are fed on chopped mulberry leaves for about a month. So they are left on the mulberry leaves for 1 month. The larvae eat and increase in size. Twigs or small racks are then placed on the trays after the caterpillar stops eating and starts spinning cocoons. Now when the caterpillars stops eating and they are starting to spinning cocoons, the cocoons get attached to these twigs. Now these cocoons get attached to these twigs. The cocoons are then sorted according to the color, size and shape. Cocoons often may be white, yellow or grey in color. So the cocoons may be in white, yellow or grey in color. The selected cocoons are then boiled in hot water, kept under the sun, treated in ovens for fumigated to kill the larvae inside. So they are they are boiled in hot water, kept under the sun, treated in ovens or fumigated to kill the larva inside. Now they are fumigated to kill the larva. The cocoons are placed in hot and cold water alternatively to loosen the filament. If the larvae are not killed are allowed to grow, they will break the cocoon. So if the cocoon are not killed, if they are allowed to grow, they will break the cocoon, thereby reducing the length of the fiber. The filaments are taken out from the cocoon by a process called reeling. The process by which they are taking out the cocoons by the process is called reeling. The filaments of several cocoons are twisted together to make the strong thread. The thread is wound on a reel. Now the silk threads are then dyed and woven into silk fabric. Now these silk threads are then dyed and woven into silk fabric. Now like this process, the silk are forming. Understand? Now different varieties of silk moths produce different varieties of silk, like Tassar silk, Muga silk and Kosa silk. So what are they? Tassar silk, Muga silk and Kosa silk. Mulberry silk is white in color and is the finest quality of silk. So which is the finest quality? Mulberry silk. Now health hazards in wool and silk industry. Health hazards are associated with almost every industry. Some health hazards of wool and silk industry are discussed below. In the wool industry, the workers who short wool often suffer from a fatal disease called anthrax or sorter disease. So the workers who short wool often suffer from a fatal disease called anthrax, which is caused by an infection of anthrax bacteria. Workers in the silk industry have to dip their bare hands into hot water to judge by touch whether the fine threads of silk have loosened enough to be wound. This often causes blisters and open wounds or injuries on the hands that can cause infections. Number 3, the reeling of silk thread requires workers to stand for 12 to 16 hours in a day. Now this reeling of silk thread requires workers to stand up to 12 to 16 hours in a day, resulting in backaches, spine problems and problems related to vision. Vision means look. The problem related to eye. Workers who are exposed to continuous vapor from the boiling cocoons and diesel fumes from machines suffer from respiratory disease like asthma and bronchitis. So we already finished this chapter, but we'll go for this chapter, previous chapter. I have done this one, so I will send you in this one in your WhatsApp. Okay. So I have sent this one. This one you have to do homework. I think tomorrow this page number is 21. Home. And this chapter homework, fiber to fabric, will go for the question number 1, multiple choice question. This number, question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4. So please continue to complete the homework. And if you got any problem, just ask me through WhatsApp and call me. So thank you very much.